to start? Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Oklahoma History and Film.
Woo! I love that intro. That is a great intro.
I
One of the best. Best in the business.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our podcast.
All the cool kids call it pods.
Welcome, everyone, to Oklahoma History and Film. I am your host, Christopher Gazzy.
And I'm your other host, sometimes called a co-host, Christopher ColdThorne.
Today we are talking about the 1983 film, The Outsiders.
Cue the Wolfpack music.
Oh!
Doom, 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 doom. I had never seen this before.
You're
I had never
kidding.
seen this. Yeah, I'd heard all about it. I knew the taglines: "Stay pony, golden boy." I knew that. I did not know that this was a beloved novel that is like required reading in a lot of schools.
No, yeah, it truly is. When I lived in Dearborn, Michigan, back in like 1997, my teacher, she was actually like, whenever she found out I was from Tulsa, she thought it was awesome because she loved the Outsiders book. So I thought that was cool.
That's cool.
Made me feel, back at home.
And man, one thing about this movie is they were some thugs. Like, there is a fist fight every 5 minutes in this movie, and I gotta say, I dig it. Like, I don't dig a lot of the misogyny. The way they kind of treat women, and they're the good guys. But the fist fighting, I do enjoy. I think that's. I gotta say, I think it's kind of healthy. The knives, the switchblades, and chains and stuff, probably not as healthy, but just a good old fashioned fist fight where you wind up really far, and then when you hit, it sounds like meat being like wet meat. Like that's a good brawl, man.
The Outsiders. This film, it was written by S.E. Hinton. I'm wearing my shirt today in honor of her.
Oh, cool! I didn't know that was who did it. Wow.
S.E. Hinton, Tulsa native.
Yeah, she's from Tulsa, so it makes me wonder if maybe. Because every story they have, the author has a fiction suit. I don't know if you've heard this or the listeners have heard this. It's called a fiction suit. It's like when Stephen King writes a story and there's a character in there that's a writer, basically like him. So I wonder if Cherry is S.E. Hinton's fiction suit, because she's the main female character, main female perspective in this movie. So I wonder if maybe she experienced some of this. See, I just saw the movie. I didn't read the book or anything like that. I didn't really have time. But what an interesting it reminds me of the era of like my dad came from. Everyone had these silly nicknames and they fist fought all the time.
Oh man, I was trying to think, what our nicknames would have been back then, but I really can't.
Mine would have big in it for sure. Yours might actually have little.
I don't know. They I don't ever hear them say like I don't hear a little. I would have probably been like, let's think about it. There's soda pop, a 2-bit.
2-bit. What is 2-bit? What is 2-bit? Is that like type of money or something? Like in old movies about old Blighty in the UK, they always say like they use the term bits. So I don't know what 2-bit means, but he's my favorite.
I've always heard like the 2-bit thug or something like that.
Right. Is it 2-bit like it must be you're like cheap. You're like a cheap thug or something, which is the best kind of thug. You don't want an expensive thug.
So the Outsiders, the film, starts out innocent enough. It opens up. Okay, and let's just get this out in the open right now. We did not watch the theatrical version. We watched like the director's cut because, in my opinion, the director's the one that kind of had the vision. So like I kind of like prefer their cut rather than the theatrical, because I know a lot of stuff goes into films and putting films out, and sometimes a lot of the good stuff gets cut out in the theatrical version. But
yeah, because you got to have pacing, and you got to remember like a lot of squares are going to be watching it. A lot of regular kind of people, they don't want to sit through a really long thing. So so in that way, it's probably okay that it was cut down. The version I watched, was 2 hours, and it was actually not called the director's cut. It was called the novel cut or novel version, I guess, because it mimics the book more. Which I've never heard that.
I did like the editing of this version, like some of the shots they did, the way they kind of like would stack two shots on top of each other. I don't know. just the editing was cool, and the vibe, the way the music would cut in.
Yeah.
It was almost like borderline kind of corny, but like in a passable way, you know.
My impression of this is that they tried to make this as if it were, because this was filmed in '82, released in '83, and so they wanted it to feel like it was from the '50s. And I
But
think
it is. I mean, that's a common misconception. But this film is supposed to be based around 1965.
oh right, yeah.
I mean, I know that 50s was the greasers' time, but the fashion doesn't just end at the end of the decade. It has some rollover.
Well, the '50s didn't come to Tulsa until 1965.
So we're always a little bit behind.
They're a little bit behind the times. Okay, so if people at home, if you don't know this movie, a short synopsis is it's a bunch of thug kids in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and back then they were a different type. They were greasers, and this is the poor kids basically, and they used hair pomade and put it in their hair. It made it like a greasy thing, which they thought was really cool. They wore blue jeans that are cuffed on the bottom, and a jean jacket or a leather jacket. I think a leather jacket is when you're made. A jean jacket is just when you're just a regular thug. You got to work your way up. And they're all constantly being harassed by these people called the Socias, who are just the same kids, but a higher economic bracket, and instead of jean jackets or leather jackets, they wear Lettermans. So completely different.
They got sweaters and
Yeah.
nice things. And what I noticed is right off the bat in this movie, we have these lovable greaser characters, but they're walking around. They're traumatizing little kids playing cards innocently.
Yeah.
I mean, they sexually harass women at the drive-in.
Flip up their skirts.
Yes. And I know it's supposed to be in 1965, but no way any of this would be passable in 2025.
No, and these guys are cool. Like they can probably get chicks already without just by being cool. Because this is back in the time when that look was intimidating. It was like the equivalent of seeing I don't know, Big Bad Biker or something. I don't know what the modern equivalent of a guy... it looks silly to us now, but I guarantee you'd probably clutch your pearls if you were in 1965 walking out of a store or walking to your car and some guy's like, "Hey, Daddy-o," you'd be like, oh.
He starts snapping his fingers.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You clutch your purse a little tighter and stuff because they were legit. They were thugs.
Yeah. The film follows Ponyboy Curtis. He's living in his house with his brothers. They don't really elaborate right away anything. They just follow these kids around, these teenagers, and maybe young adult. There's Ponyboy Curtis, there's Johnny, and there's Dallas in the beginning, and it just kind of follows them around. It follows they're traumatizing little children and just running amok as nice heroes of the movie do. And then eventually after just a bunch of hanging, they eventually go to the drive-in movie to go see, what was it, Gone with the Wind? I don't know.
No, the book Gone with the Wind was the book they were reading.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The movie they were watching, I don't know what it was, but the Matt Dillon, he says it's just one of those beach movies. So I've never actually watched any of those the beach movies. I know they did a whole bunch. There's Beach Blanket Bingo is one that comes to mind.
I never heard of any of this.
Yeah, it was a fad for a while to do just stupid beach movies.
So the boys, they're sitting behind these two attractive girls from that look a little bit out of their, I wouldn't say out of their league, but they're definitely not from the same social circles. And right off the bat, Dallas is, I guess this is the equivalent of Game in 1965. You just go up to girls you've never met and start whispering in their ear in the most grapiest vibe ever. And
he wanted to know if the curtains match the drapes.
Yeah,
it's
and these are the heroes.
Yeah, these are the good guys.
2-Bit, he's also at this movie stumbling around pulling girls' dresses up and stuff.
Yeah,
he's a bunch of good boys will be boys.
Boys will be boys. Yeah, they're not great on the misogyny scale. However, 2-Bit is always down to fight.
Oh no,
he does not care because he's a little dude, and I didn't realize how tiny Emilio Estevez is. He's a very small framed guy, down to fight.
Dude, I think he is one of my favorite characters in the whole thing. Emilio nailed a great Tulsa accent, especially for 1965.
Yeah, because people don't the stereotype is the hillbilly accent, but it's more subtle. Nowadays, there's not really much of an accent around. But for 65, yeah, it was. I think it was good because it was just very subtle. It's not all hillbilly accents are not the same, so they're very different, very subtle.
The boys are watching the movie. Dallas starts getting more and more aggressive to Cherry, which we find out is like one of the nice Soch girls, and
And he's older than her, right? Like how old? They're supposed to be like
yeah,
15 or
I
16.
think Dallas was like 18, 19, supposed to be something like
Back
that.
then, they didn't really worry as much about.
Hey, yeah, like that's nothing for back then. Like that's as good as it's gonna get.
Yeah, that was woke for the day.
But yeah, okay, so like they're watching the movie. Dallas kind of offends the girls, and they bark back at him and kind of like get him to go away. Johnny actually, the Karate Kid, steps in and he tells Dallas, "Yo, bro, just chill." And Dallas is like, "The fuck did you say to me?
Yeah, I thought he
What
was
did you
gonna.
say to me, dipshit?"
Yeah, I thought he was gonna get smacked or something.
Yeah, but did you notice though? Dally kind of like backs down from Johnny because there's like hints all throughout the movie, little subtleties that you might not catch, but like the gang, they like love Johnny. Like he's like they obviously know he comes from a bad home,
Yeah.
and he's like he's like the runt of the group. I mean, Ponyboy is kind of, but so
Yeah.
is Johnny, and in my opinion, Johnny might actually be the only one with any heart at all, like in the song.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, he was nice. He got Dallas to stop messing with the girls, and then Ponyboy and Johnny join the
Yeah.
girls. They start chatting, and after the movie, they're walking away.
And she's got a Soch boyfriend though. Scandalous.
Oh, I know, but and apparently she was with him earlier in the night, and we find out here after the movie as they're walking away. The girls are with 2-Bit Pony and Johnny, and up comes this car. Out stumbles Bob, Cherry's boyfriend. Bob's drunk. He's with his boy Randy. Randy's this tall, gorgeous man with like curly hair. He's a Soch. Bob stumbles out all drunk. He's like, "Cherry, what are you doing? What are you doing with this trash?" Ugh.
Yeah, it's white trash.
And man, it was like, and the most G part of it, like,
Oh, yeah.
fucking Randy's like bows up to 2-Bit, and he's like, "You know what? We got 2 more in the back seat, and 2-Bit, my boy."
Yeah.
He smashes the beer bottle, throws it to Pony, whips out his switchblade, and says, "Pity the back seat."
Yeah.
That is G as fuck.
And he does like a spin when he busts things, spins, and then hands him the cracker knife. And yeah, dude, he was ready. And he really liked Mickey Mouse too. That's a side
Oh
thing.
yeah. So like and cooler heads prevail. We don't have any stabbings right then and
Yeah.
there. And this is something that happened at the movie, and it's going to be called back later. But there was this guy at the movie that was looking for Dallas. At one point, he was a scar.
Tim?
Yeah, Tim. He had
Yeah.
a scar on his face. I call him Scarface Tim.
Yeah.
And whoever that dude is, when I saw him and he was looking for Dallas because he like slashed his tire, I'm like, Dallas probably with the wrong guy.
Yeah.
On that one.
Yeah, that guy looked rough.
Yeah, but 2-Bit reminds me a lot of my friends. He's like a low key sweetheart. He pays for Johnny's popcorn. I
Yeah.
noticed that, and that's another thing. Like this group, these guys, they like really take care of each other.
Yeah, and they don't have much money. Only a couple of them are working.
Exactly.
Because they call 2-Bit a bum a bunch of times. So why don't you get a job? The only ones that are working it's Patrick Swayze and Rob Lowe. So yeah.
Dairy and soda pop.
Yeah, Dairy and Soda Pop.
We have a roofer and a guy that works at a gas station. Oh, and he asked for a DX shirt at one point, and I was like, "Bring it in!"
Yeah. Oh man, I did too. And then I remembered, I was like, oh yeah, it's probably like the name of the gas station or something. But
oh, and Bob, can we talk about Drunk Bob? That is Leif Garrett, the famous musician Leif
Really?
Garrett. Yeah, and man, he was like an attractive man in 1983. I can't say much for 2025, but God, he was a beautiful man in 1983.
pretty sure I also saw Tom Waits in this. I'm not 100%.
No, yeah, absolutely. I think his name was like Bucky or something.
Was he the door guy?
Yeah.
That's
like exactly.
I thought that was him. Yeah, I was worried for them during that scene because they. Well, I'm skipping ahead or whatever, but they kill a guy and they.
Oh yeah, we're getting.
Yeah,
We're coming
let's.
up on
Yeah,
it right now. We'll
yeah,
talk
yeah,
about.
yeah. We'll do it. Yeah,
Okay,
go ahead.
so like after the movie, they walk home. Johnny sees his parents are fighting. He's like his mom getting her ass beat, and he's like,
Yeah,
I don't want to go in there. I don't want to deal with that. So he leaves his mom to get beat up. I guess.
yeah. He's like, not my problem, I guess.
It's like, never mind, you have all your buddies that would, bash anyone's head in at, the drop of a hat if you ask them.
Yeah.
Like, can't you get a couple of your buddies to maybe go help, pull your dad off your mom? I don't know. Maybe they don't want to get involved.
Yeah, it's their business,
Things back in 1965 were different.
Yeah, a little different.
But, okay, so the kids, Two-Bit goes off and does whatever Two-Bit does, because they don't have a job. He's just...
Yeah. There's a lot of just like walking around,
Yes.
which that's totally Oklahoma. That is totally
Oh,
Tulsa. Because
nailed it.
back in the day, me and my friend Kermit, we used to just walk around the town of Haleyville. We just walk and like kind of get into trouble, sort of like they did. You find an old abandoned house, let's go in there.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, just stupid stuff that no sane person should ever do. But yeah, definitely.
The kids, after the movie, Johnny and Pony go to this lot. It's obviously someplace they've been before. It has like a little car, like seats from a car set out, a fire, and they accidentally fall asleep. Pony goes home. Derry's mad at him. His older brother's pissed. He's like, I didn't know if you were dead. I can't even call the cops because they throw you in a boys' home so fast and make your head spin.
Yeah, because he's sort of the surrogate parent, really, because the parents have passed.
And we haven't found that out yet at all. But, it's implied heavily.
Yeah.
And, Derry ends up, in a heated moment, laying his hands and shoving his little kid brother Pony on the ground.
Yeah.
And Pony, darts out the door and runs because... I understand. Like, in that kind of home, that vibe, you got to get out of it. And he takes off running. He meets up with Johnny, wakes Johnny up. Johnny was just sleeping in the lot. He didn't give a shit. He wasn't going to go home to his parents and all that.
You notice he didn't have any blankets. He just had sort of like newspapers on him.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
And Pony like runs to him, and I clocked this, but like. Wakes Johnny up from a dead sleep, and it's like, we're running away. Johnny, no questions asked, runs with him.
Yeah.
I love that. I love this bond between the greasers. Like, it is something to, like, envy. You need friends like the greasers.
Yeah.
So anyway, they run. They go off. They're trying to cool off. They go find a park to kind of just sit and chill and, just kind of relax. But... we got some of the socias creeping up on them. And it's the same socias from earlier at the theater, outside the theater.
And I was like, just run. And he's like, the other guy said it almost as soon as I was thinking. He was like, should we split? And he's like, no, let's just play it out. It's like, no, just run.
That was the worst mistake. Yep.
Yeah, there was like 5 dudes in there or whatever. So run.
And I always think the socias and the greasers always have like weird interactions right before they're fighting. Like, it's a very gentlemanly kind of thing. In a way, they get to trade their insults back and forth first before, they start throwing down.
There's a lot of assaulting of kids in this. Because they're like grabbing kids and putting knives on them and stuff. And
we weren't alive back in '65, so we don't know how it was. It probably could have been like that.
They show up, and there's some really good shots. You mentioned earlier about how it's sort of like, I don't know, mimicking some old shots or something. And it's like, if I can describe it for the listeners, it's like they show the one guy's face and then they'll show an action behind him, and it's like superimposed. Really, they do this 3 or 4 times throughout the movie. Really beautiful shots.
I feel like it's a callback to something, like just the way movies were made, like back in that era or something. And maybe that's what it was. It was like a homage or something.
Yeah, it's shot to look older than it is, for sure.
So Bob, the drunks pull up. They get into a fight. They're trying to drown Pony Boy.
They had him under for a while.
Yeah.
I tried to hold my breath. I rewound the scene and tried to hold it to see. I just like, I can't do that.
So, justifiable homicide is what we're leaning towards.
I feel like that, and I feel like it was self-defense. I mean, what are you doing? You're picking on a couple of kids at like 4 a.m. in Tulsa. You're like drowning them in a fountain or whatever.
Yeah, and all we see is like the screen just go blood soaked, covered, in red, and whenever it comes back, Ponyboy is coming to, and he sees Johnny with a blood-soaked knife in his hand, saying, "I killed him. I killed that boy."
The scene is so wet. There's water and blood everywhere,
Yeah.
and it just kind of, I don't know, it gives me that weird kind of feeling of like, that where you get that kind of sympathetic, like, oh, that guy's been stabbed. You almost
Yeah.
feel like, I don't want anything to poke me.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe that, but
And can we say something about these kids' situational awareness? Like, they have no survival skills whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like in the beginning of the movie, when Ponyboy, we didn't even talk about it, but Ponyboy gets jumped in the beginning of the movie. They don't even show it in the theatrical version, and they cut his neck with a goddamn switchblade.
yeah, they really love those switchblades.
I would
They
not
also-
have gotten into a fight back then. Like,
No.
I would just assume I'm gonna get stabbed.
And what's the other type of blade? It's not a switchblade, but they go
Oh, the butterfly knife.
butterfly knife. Yeah,
So Johnny commits the justifiable homicide. Kids take off running. They don't know what to do. They find Dallas. They got to go find Dallas.
Yeah.
They go to this. It looks like some sort of like honky tonk bar or something like that.
yeah. I like how I thought it was weird. Like they knocked on the door. They were so polite instead of just going in. Because I would probably been tempted to just walk in, but they're like, no, we're 21 and up, so
Yeah, I
you
don't.
can't just come in here.
I didn't understand. I didn't know if that was like a bar, like a speakeasy. I don't know.
That's the kind of the vibe I got. Like it's not illegal, but maybe they were like doing other stuff in there, so it's just kind of like a private party sort of thing.
And like we mentioned earlier, the door guy is Tom Waits.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We get the Tom Waits cameo.
But I was thinking during this scene, they stick out like a sore thumb because, I mean, two kids coming in a bar, like everyone there in the bar saw them.
Oh yeah,
so.
showing up, soaked in blood.
Oh, man.
just soaked in water.
Yeah, and what you were saying earlier about how the greasers are always like down for each other. Yeah, Matt Dillon, is that his name?
yeah. Dally.
I forget because he has a brother. But yeah, he was like, as soon as they told him like, oh, we killed the so, she's like, he didn't freak out or anything. He's like, all right, here
his
you go.
exact words were "good for you."
Yeah, and he's like, here's $50. There, I got a stash.
And here's the loaded pistol.
Yeah, here you go. Be careful. Don't point it around. Safety first. And guys, go up to this mountain and just hang out in this.
Oh, Dally's killed somebody, right?
Oh, he's had to.
He's killed at least.
How did he have all that ready to go?
Bro, he had that like in the bag ready. And again, going back to like these aren't like socials. These aren't people of means. They don't have a lot, but
Yeah.
Dally, in like no questions asked, gives this kid $50. Like
That
that's
would've been a
that's
fortune.
huge in '65.
Yeah.
That's huge in 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, $50, loaded pistol, send you on a train, and the kids are gone. They go, they hop on this train,
The bum jungles, they call it. Riding the bum jungles, the rails.
and lots of male cuddling. Lots and lots,
Lots
of
of it.
male cuddling in this film.
That is something I want to address. I sort of feel like this movie is almost being like a young man LGBT story. It feels like it would have been, and I wonder if gay was accepted, way back in history, how many stories like this would be about them in a relationship and not just because how do we know people couldn't be openly gay back then? But these two young boys definitely seem very sweet on each other.
Yeah.
The cuddling is just done as like no big deal.
Yeah, and I try to think about it too. Like, okay, if you're like 14 or
Yeah.
was it weird to like sit by your friend and just kind of like put your backs to each other and prop each other up?
No, I
Not
guess
really.
not. No.
And I mean, they were cold, but to your point, I do think in another world, like Ponyboy and Johnny were a couple.
It just seems like it, and I don't mean that. Please, listeners at home, I'm not saying this in any kind of a making fun kind of anything like that.
No, not at all.
No, I think it was. I just think it was cool, and I think it was kind of sweet. Because you don't know, like, okay, there's a scene where they're hiding out and they're talking about the sunset. I forget.
Sunset, yeah.
Yeah, and they're talking about how beautiful it is, and he's like, "Oh, I can't really tell anybody else other than you how beautiful these sunsets are and stuff."
That was literally my next note.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh,
Yeah.
but before I get to that note, I did have this one note, and it says, "We need to bring back cuddling with the homies."
Yeah.
We've been a lost nation ever since we lost it. So I'm just saying, We need to bring back cuddling with the homies.
Yeah, and
'Cause,
a
I
lot
feel
of
like
Middle Eastern cultures, the men hold hands a lot of times. That's not really seen as anything weird.
we need to bring it back, bro.
Yeah.
We were talking about the beautiful sunset. Nothing gold can stay.
Oh yeah, that's where the I didn't know because I made kind of a flippant joke earlier saying that the main line of the movie backwards, but when I actually saw it, it did make me tear up a little bit. It's like, oh,
Oh yeah, no,
that's kind of sweet actually.
I
Nothing gold can stay golden. Is that right? The sunset can't stay. He's talking about how beautiful the gold in the clouds and stuff for the sunset is, and he's like, well, nothing gold can ever stay permanent. I think I'm butchering that, but some version of that, it's like, oh, that's actually kind of sweet.
nothing gold can stay. Nature's first green is gold. Her hardest hue to hold. Her early leaves a flower, but only so an hour. The leaf subsides to leaf, so Eden sank to grief, so dawn goes to day. Nothing gold can stay. Yeah, thank you guys. But yeah, Ponyboy and Johnny probably should have been a couple.
Yeah, they probably should have been. It wouldn't have been accepted, but
Oh, and so like Dolly. Some time goes by. The kids are hiding out at this church.
Oh, and can I mention real quick? He gets a haircut and a Ric Flair dye job thing and the other kid cuts his hair with a pocket knife. It's like this is the best pocket knife haircut I've ever seen in my life. This is good.
Oh, bro, I feel like Johnny had a career in cosmetology or something.
Yeah, do all that with just one blade. You don't even need scissors.
Jeez. And peroxide, that was a great bleach job for just some peroxide. I gotta give it to him.
Yeah, because I've done my hair before and it comes out like orange. You got to do it a couple times.
Yeah. So Dallas, like, I guess, the coast is kind of clear in Tulsa, back in Tulsa. So he goes out to meet up with the boys at the church where he had sent them to hide out. And
the filthiest church I've ever seen in my life.
God.
Like I would just start. If he didn't have a broom, I would start like kicking the debris with my. He just immediately, if you watch when they first come in there, he's just like so tired. He just like lays in the filth. And he's like, oh, that's fine.
Oh, I mean, they had a
I've
long
been there.
night, bro.
Yeah.
They went to a murder, hopped on a train. But yeah, and Dallas brings Ponyboy this note from Soda Pop, and I had to like pause, and it kind of hit me in the feels, like when he read the note, and he's hearing from his brother like, hey, well, it looks like you got yourself into some trouble, and it just hit me because it's like that's all they have is each other, and you gotta think his older brothers are terrified, they're scared for their little brother. I don't know, something about the note that Ponyboy read from his brother, it really got to me. Dolly loves to yell at kids.
Yeah.
He takes these boys to the local Dairy Queen. Then he's got a heater on him because apparently he gave them his pistols, and now he's got like a clip, and us kids come up trying to bum money, and Dolly being Dolly, he'll never never lose a moment to yell at a child.
Yeah.
Start screaming at him. Ponyboy. I have a little beef with you. You threw your goddamn burger out and the wrapper. Thanks for littering where my children play, you piece of...
Yeah, that's why Oklahoma looks like the way it is now, because you threw that wrapper out.
And, okay, so, and after this, they do go back to the church, I guess, to try to clean up the fact that they were there.
Yeah, get some of their stuff out of there.
Yeah, and what's up with the fucking field trip to an abandoned fire hazard of a church out in the middle of nowhere?
I wondered that too.
As a parent, I want answers.
I first thought maybe they had accidentally set the fire because they like left a cigarette burning or something.
Yeah, that's kind of when I first saw the movie and the theatrical version. That's what I assumed.
Yeah, but they don't ever elaborate on that. They never show like, it was their because I don't think so. I think one of the kids probably did it somehow. My guess, because I wondered this too, my guess is they weren't there for the church. They were just like on their way back to the school, and they decided to stop. But why would you stop and let kids out of your sight at a old rotten church like that? It's like that's...
No, there was clearly a lot of that was going wrong.
And, I wanted to say, I so wanted that fat dude to get hit
so
bad. He was such a piece of garbage.
I'm glad you're bringing him up. Go ahead.
They were talking shit on him as they were going in there to save the kids. They were like, "Where's the fat guy?" They're like, "He can't fit in here."
This man,
I hated him.
We get the cameo. The hefty gentleman that we're referring to is none other than a Tulsa native, Gaylord Sartain. He's famous from like Ernest movies. That's where I recognize him.
Okay, I thought I recognized him.
He was in lots of Ernest movies, and also I recognize him from a fellow Oklahoman, Mel McDaniel. His music video from like I think it was like 1985, but I saw it later. But it was the Stand Up. Have you ever been there? Stand up.
Oh, I know that one.
Identify. Yeah, and like Gaylord was in that music video, so it's kind of cool. Like he's an Oklahoman, legendary actor, legend in my eyes. But Jerry, get off your fat ass, Jerry. What the Jerry?
This kid's burning. Like you gotta save burning kids. You can't let kids burn.
Grace tells Jerry. There's some kids missing. We can't find some kids, and he's like, "Oh no, Grace, they're somewhere around here."
Yeah, you probably just miscounted or something.
Lazy,
no big deal.
Do nothing, ass Jerry. Get your ass in there, Jerry. What the?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. And then he has the audacity later to tell Ponyboy he shouldn't smoke as he's smoking.
Oh yeah, I put that in my notes too. Old judgmental ass Jerry.
Yeah.
Oh, and whenever he finds out, after. Let's mention this since we're here. The boys are the ones that have to run in and save children from the burning building.
Oh yeah, which is great.
Much to Dallas's dismay, by the way. He's like, "Do not get over. Don't go in there."
I wondered how they filmed this scene because it's like this isn't a special effects heavy movie or anything, but like watching it, I kind of felt like that little bit of. Like I can't breathe as good, and you kind of feel like I don't want to go in there.
Yeah.
Just that natural like part of your brain, like I don't want to go into a place that's burning full of smoke. And when he throws a like a big rock or a brick or something through the boards, and I really liked all of it. I don't know how they did it, but it looked really good. It looked like they were in danger, and then you're like. Come on, Johnny, jump through the window. And he just kind of stands there and starts collapsing. Oh, there's a kid that bites him. I don't mean to interrupt, but there's like a little brat that bites him as they're trying to get the kid out.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, she bites him, and he's like, she bit me. And, he still helps her out. But, like, does that happen a lot to, like, firemen? They're helping kids out, and they get bit? It's got to.
What a weird reaction to someone saving your life. But, whatever. Dallas, like, literally pulls Ponyboy out of it while he's on fire. Like, his arm's on fire. And then he hears the screams of Johnny who's still inside. And, again, without question, without thinking about it, he jumps right in there to save his friend.
Yeah.
And like, what had happened, like a burning beam from the church fell down and, like, essentially crushed Johnny's back.
Oh, yeah, because he says later that
he
would never be able to walk again.
Yeah.
He really, I got to say... Johnny really kind of puts a wet blanket on their whole saving kids thing. They're trying to celebrate, and he's over here going, "Hey guys," it's like, man, we can't even,
over here.
we can't even enjoy our victory, man. No, it's tragic. It was sad.
In the ambulance, Pony he's calling the names of Dallas and Johnny, and old Jerry lets him know they're in the ambulance behind him.
Yeah.
And they're heading to the hospital. He's like, "Oh man, you boys must be, what are you guys, professional heroes?" And he said, "No, we're greasers." And old judgmental Jerry, for some reason, was like super like, "Oh, really?"
Yeah, he sort of bristles at that. I wonder if that's like the equivalent of being like, "Oh, I'm a Crip." Or, like what that would be in modern times.
So the Curtis brothers finally reunite at the hospital, and right in the feels, man.
Yeah, that was sad. Because you can tell it's like, Patrick Swayze's character is like, he seems like he's a little bit of an a-hole, but, he's trying his best. And when he apologizes, it's like, it's real sincere.
Yeah.
It really is.
The way he's like, "I thought we lost you, like Mom and Dad." Oh.
Yeah. And I loved when Two-Bit bucked up to
Johnny's mother.
Mom. Yeah. Johnny's mom. Yeah, because he refuses to see her. He's like, so something's going on bad there. Maybe she's an abuser. We don't know.
She's drunk for sure.
Yeah, she's definitely and she wants to see him. She's insisting, yelling at the staff, and he's like, no, because I guess in this case, I feel like back then they probably would have just let the mom in, but I thought it was cool but they didn't. And then 2-Bit is like yells at her, bucks up, is like kind of taken up for his friend. I thought that was really cool. That's one thing that you see over and over in this movie is that the Greasers they're real scummy. They're a lot scummy, but they got a lot of heart and they're like fun people. And you could definitely score some weed from them. If anyone in 1965 knew where it was at, the Greasers. I mean, the Socias aren't gonna. They're gonna go like tell their cop friends or something.
After the boys reunite, the Curtis brothers reunite, we cut back to Pony Boy's waking up at his house that he hasn't been to in a long time. And for some reason, like Scarface Tim is just sitting on his couch reading the newspaper. And Pony's like seems kind of off put by it, but he like offers to make him breakfast, which was like a very sweetheart thing. But, Tim declines. It's like, I'm all right. And then he just kind of walks out and he's like, thanks for letting me use the couch.
Yeah, that was weird. I was like, what happened here?
Then Tom Cruise's, his name's Steve Randall, by the way, which I think is kind of like a suspiciously Soch sounding name. I feel like he might be like a double agent or something, like a little spy. He's undercover. He wore he wore a fake tooth to make it look like he's got a messed up grill.
Yeah.
I'm on to him. he has it's in an almost throwaway line, but he's like he looks at 2-Bit and he's like, beer for breakfast? And it was just like a very subtle throwaway line, but I like remember laughing really hard at it.
This was like one of his first movies. This is a lot of these dudes like some of their first movies. This is the Brat Pack guys. Because I almost forgot until you mentioned Tom Cruise. It's like, oh yeah, that's right, he is in this.
So old Steve hands Ponyboy the newspaper, and Ponyboy finds out they're charging Johnny with manslaughter if he makes it.
Yeah.
Which Pony's like, what do they mean if he makes it? And the headline reads like delinquent youths turn heroes.
That's some good press because they got all three of their faces in there. Because he got his picture with his blonde hair in the paper. That's good press.
Yeah, I mean, it can't hurt your case. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So later, Pony and 2-Bit, they're out walking around. They run into some Socias. 2-Bit's like, hey, no jazz before the rumble.
Oh yeah, so this is so when they said this kind of like blindsided me a little bit because it's like, wait, the what now? The Royal Rumble? Like didn't even have it back then. But no, so listeners at home, if you can imagine this, the two gangs politely decide that, hey, on like Friday night, we're all going to get together and we're just going to beat the crap out of each other. And the rules are no pipes, just fists, which I'm all for that.
No blades.
No blades, no chains, no pipes, whatever. And I guess the rules are, because I was not clear on the rules, but it's just when you start getting your ass kicked too bad, you run away. And and at the end of it, who's ever left on the team, they win. I mean, they don't really win anything, but it was great. The Rumble was my favorite part of this movie.
But my favorite part, this is my favorite scene though. The talk between Randy and Pony in the car before the Rumble.
Yeah, that was
it shows so many layers. This is like this movie has layers.
Well, because like the first thing I thought of is like they should just be friends.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like,
and this is where we find out, like why it's so cool for me. Growing up, I was like one of the greaser kids. I was one of the poor kids coming from a trailer park. But I always wanted to be like, a Soch. I just wanted to be normal, I didn't want to be the poor kid.
Yeah, you're saying you turn your back on your friends in a moment's notice. They hand you that Letterman jacket, and it's like an NWO shirt.
But, so they talk in the car, and it shows so many layers to the character of Randy. It really shows the human side of the Soches. It's a beautiful scene. I had to pause it. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with me, but I was just emotional that day watching this movie. I had to pause it. I was getting choked up because of like the humanity between the Socias and the Greases, and it's like they got their they're not their like spokesperson or something, but they got their guy from each side, like
like,
kind of delegating things for them.
Yeah, like a negotiation almost of some weird type or something. I don't know what you call that, but. And
Randy mentions so that kid, he's probably gonna die, right? And he's like, yeah, he's probably gonna die, or we don't know, and like he says it doesn't matter, you guys can't win.
Yeah.
Like even if you beat us up, You're still going to be greasers. We're still going to be the socialists with all the privilege and everything handed to us.
All the extra perks and stuff and bonuses just for being. Yeah, that kind of made me choke up a little bit too, because it's like, yeah, you guys might kick our ass, but like, it doesn't really matter. The economy is still the economy. There's not a whole lot we can do about that. Yeah, it seemed like he almost wanted to be his friend, but it's like, well, we can't really be friends because of the
Yeah.
socioeconomic
He even,
garbage.
he's like, anyway, thanks for the talk, Grease. He goes
Yeah.
leaving. He's like, hey, I didn't mean that. Thanks
Yeah.
for the talk, kid. Like,
Yeah.
I just thought that was great. Beautiful
Yeah.
moment. Beautiful moment. I'm really happy they put that scene in the movie.
Yeah, because they couldn't have. I mean, they could have been friends, but they couldn't have been friends after that because of
You killed my
all
homie. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing I noticed. It was like, yeah, the socias, they got a little less bass in their voice now after one of them had stabbed.
Yeah.
Like, weird how you guys are a little bit more respectful to my boy over here. It's like, oh yeah, did you want to take me for a swim in the tank again, man? Or yeah, a little different, but yeah.
The boys go and visit. Two-Bit and Pony go visit Johnny in the hospital. And I think they go see Dally as well. That's where they meet up with Johnny, and his mom tries to come in there.
Yeah.
Johnny like passes out. He can't do anything. They go see Dallas, and we get an S.E. Hinton cameo. She's the nurse.
Oh, cool.
That Dallas like, get the hell out of here, get out of here. Like,
Oh,
so
wow.
the author of The Outsiders makes a little cameo in the movie. That's really awesome.
That is cool.
And that's where we get the infamous "Let's do it for Johnny" scene. And like Ponyboy, he seems very out of it, almost
Yeah.
sickly, like before the Rumble, leading up to it. And we also in this time find out from Two-Bit that the only thing keeping Derry, Pony's older brother, from being a Soch is the Greasers themselves. He's a good-looking man. He's athletic, and he probably could have been a Soch, but his boys, he's loyal. He's loyal.
Yeah, I get that.
After they visit Dally in the hospital, Two-Bit and Pony kind of run into Cherry for a minute. Cherry asks about Johnny. Pony's like, "Why don't you go see him?" She's like, "I can't."
Yeah, that's so.
She's
She
like, "Why don't
can't.
you go see him?"
She could.
No, but come on, be fair. That he murdered her boyfriend.
Yeah, I guess so. But maybe she'd be into that.
Anyway, let's get ready to rumble. We're at the
man.
Rumble.
This is something. They're waiting in this field. They got a bonfire. It's a little overcast, starting to sprinkle. They're doing their stretches, which anybody's been in a fight, you know that you may not do a full routine of stretching, but everyone stretches a little bit before a fight. You just kind of
Who doesn't though? Two-Bit. Two-Bit's been drinking since breakfast.
Yeah. Well, you ever seen a lion limber up and stretch before it takes down a gazelle? No. Something I want to say about the fighting back then is if we went back in time, especially you, because you've had a lot of training, imagine fist fighting people back in 1965 who'd never heard of MMA, who didn't know a hold, like a headlock maybe, they might know that, but you could clean up, you could unless you got jumped by more than 2-3 people, you could take out a lot of people. You'd know all these holds and choke holds, and
In theory, I mean, you can't use holds whenever there's more than one person, because the second you go to the ground, you're gonna get your head kicked by their friends.
that's
And
not very polite.
unless you can snap an arm real quick.
that's not very gentlemanly.
Yeah, and they were all about doing things the gentlemanly way back then. In fact, they start the Rumble out with what was this man's name? Paul. This big, beefy,
Oh, yeah.
gorgeous. Actually, he looked like he was about 40 years old.
I thought that too. I was like, yeah, he came back from.
He's the guy that's still hanging out at the college parties or high school parties.
He definitely looked mean for sure.
And Paul, he trades familiarities with Gary. He's like, long
Yeah.
time no see, and he's like, good to see you, Paul. And I think Scarface Tim was like, what's up with that? And Two-Bit's like, oh, they used to play football together. It's all good. And then Paul's like, I'll take you to Derry. And I love it because
Yeah.
honestly, I mean, this is real shit. This is how fights when I was a little kid and we had our little group, this is how it went down. It was we pair up and we're like, I got him, you got him, you got him.
Man.
And then once everything kicks off, it just spills over, and it's everybody for themselves, or, team versus team.
In the mud, though, I'd be worried that I wouldn't be able to tell who was who. I'd just start punching 2-bit and be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, man." He'd probably be fine with it, though. He'd be like, "Oh, it's cool, brother."
Yeah. Anybody wearing Abercrombie is probably not with you.
Yeah, and I guess anybody with no sleeves, they're a greaser for sure.
So, out of left field runs Dallas. He's like, "Hey, this ain't a rumble without me." And, it kind of gets Ponyboy to look over. And right the second he looks over, he gets, he gets his shit popped right in the jaw. He just catches a fade right to the dome. And, 2-bit's fighting really good for a guy that's been drinking since breakfast. There's just chaos everywhere. The greasers win. They get the socialists to run away.
I noticed there's a back body drop at one point.
Yes.
It's great stuff. And it's like how a back body drop would really go. You wouldn't throw them way up. You just kind of trip them.
Just be a very up and over situation.
Yeah. The fight was great, man. I rewound the fight a couple of times to watch it. It was some cool, fun fight scenes. I caught it. There was somebody needed a guy in the face while another guy was holding him. There's a lot going on, though. There's a lot. But most of them were the good old-fashioned wind up, whoa, way back from Cleveland, and then pow, and it makes like the wet meat noise, which is so satisfying to watch.
And so Dallas is he's picking up Ponyboy, getting him up. It cuts to them driving away. I don't know where they were going, but they get pulled over. And
what a great way to mess with the cop to get out of the ticket.
Oh, beautiful. He since Ponyboy's all jacked up and he's got blood and he's leaking out of his face and everything. Dallas tells the cop, "Hey, this kid fell off his bike. I'm just taking him to the hospital." The cop looks at the kid. He's like, "All right, I'll give you. You just follow me,
Yeah,
which is
turns
really
the
cool.
Siren on and
you won't get that kind of courtesy from a cop in 2025.
No. Because then once they get there, they don't. The cop's not gonna. He's got a job to do, so he's not gonna see them to their room. So it's kind of a great little lie you could get away with back then.
Maybe something to think about there, kids.
Yeah.
Anyone listening?
Yeah.
Anyway, they go see Johnny to let him know, "Hey, we won the Rumble, brother. We did it for you." Johnny's
not really into it.
Less than thrilled, honestly. And
he says the fighting is that's no good, man. It's like a waste or something. He says.
They show up just in time to hear his last words.
Real wet blanket on their celebration. It's like, man, we were all jacked up on adrenaline. I did a back body drop I was going to tell you about. And now you're like, "Oh, I'm dying and fighting's not good."
Johnny utters to Ponyboy, he says, "Stay gold, Ponyboy."
Yeah, it is.
Calling
it is
back
sad.
to the Robert Frost one.
Yeah.
And, Dallas doesn't take this too well.
I loved
absolutely.
I loved his acting because he's selfish and mad, which is he's like, "How dare you die on me?" That made me tear up. His reaction in particular.
He storms out of the hospital, runs into a asshole doctor. He's like, "You can't be here." And Dallas, he's not taking shit from anyone right now. He pulls out his heater, points it to the guy's head, and says, "I can go anywhere I want," and then pulls the trigger.
Yeah, and then does it a couple more times. Click, click.
Yeah.
The gun, my God.
Thankfully wasn't loaded. We cut back to the greasers at the Curtis house. They're all banged up, licking their wounds. I actually spot a KOTV Channel 6 logo on the TV.
Really?
Shout out to our local news station.
Nice.
Ponyboy comes home. He informs them that Johnny died. Dally's off the rails. He's going to blow. We cut to a scene with Dallas in the convenience store, and sure enough, him's about to blow.
Yeah.
He robs the clerk with his unloaded gun as the clerk mutters, "I'm so sick of this."
And he's got a piece.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as he's out of range, he just starts blah, blah, blah.
Dallas runs out of the store. Clerk fires 2 shots. And next thing we know, Dallas is at a payphone. He calls the boys. He tells them they're in trouble. And, without question, he's like, meet me at the park. And yeah, without question, they're like, "Hey, we got to go get Dallas and hide him."
Yeah.
They literally say hide him because, right or wrong, man, they are down for each other. And, they run up.
They're close enough to see
Yes.
it all happen.
The police they come down on Dallas. He's running, and he's got that gun, and it's unloaded, but the police don't know that.
Yeah, and he doesn't tell them, hey, it's unloaded.
Yeah, and he actually screams, "You'll never take me alive." The boys are running up screaming, "It's not loaded. He's just a kid." Blam. Shmooishmied by cop.
Yeah, I feel like it was more than just a blam. I feel like it was multiple blams.
Oh yeah, blam, 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 blam.
Yeah, and I think, and then Ponyboy he passes out because it's
it was one of I have it written down as one of the most overly dramatic, like falling down, passing out moments in cinema history. Unintentionally hilarious.
I liked it because he was just like, "All right, that's it. I'm done.
Yeah,
I've been through too much stuff tonight. It's just it's been a lot. I need
Peace
to chill.
out.
I'm done."
And after that, honestly, it was just a blur of like Ponyboy's fever dream mixed with a montage of the trial for the murder.
They look nice in suits.
Yeah, and it's worth noting, Randy, super social, whatever. Like he gives an honest confession at the of the events that transpired, and it looked like, much to his parents' shame, the courts find Ponyboy not guilty. They place him in the custody of his older brother Daryl. We get that happy ending on that front.
Yeah.
Then we cut to a scene outside of Will Rogers High School where Ponyboy is walking up to the entrance. He sees Cherry. She sees him. And then she gives him the cold shoulder.
Yeah, this lady. Oh, this bee. This bee.
Man, you talk about... And they didn't put this, I don't think, in the theatrical version, but man, it made me hate Cherry. Like, brand new feelings for that woman.
Yeah, and then they do this cool thing where I wonder if it's in the theatrical version or not, but they like tie it back to the beginning of the movie because his teacher wants him to like write an essay. Is that right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. And so in the version I watched, the last scene is the beginning scene where he's like, I came out of the theater and it was dark and I only had on my mind because he's the teacher's like, I want you to write an essay about personal stuff. So I thought that was really cool. I don't know if I've seen that before where it ends exactly the same scene that it started in.
And something about going back to the cold shoulder thing.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of reminded me of what Randy said earlier about no matter what, you guys can kick our ass.
Yeah.
You're still going to be greased. We're still going to be social. From there, I, to be honest with you guys, I refuse to even acknowledge the whole soda pop storming out crying and Dairy and Pony chasing him. I wish the scene didn't exist. The movie didn't need it. It messed up the flow of the ending, and it seemed like overkill.
Well,
That's kind of my biggest critique of it.
It sort of felt like, well, now they need a scene for his character, for Rob Lowe to get some FaceTime. That's kind of what it felt like. I mean, I didn't hate it. They got to work through some toxic masculinity, so it was okay. But
to me,
it just seemed a little out of place.
To me, the real end scene is like when Ponyboy finds Johnny's note in the book.
Yeah.
And he tells Ponyboy in the note that he has no regrets about saving those little kids.
Yeah.
And they had more to live for than he did.
I loved that line because I think about that too. Like if I had a choice of, I would have to die to save a kid. It's like, well, I don't want to die at all. Of course not. But the little kid hasn't experienced life, and I've already experienced a bunch of it. So that's not fair for me to keep living when that kid, hasn't even got to smoke a blunt yet or anything, or going, go hook up or anything cool like that. So yeah, I thought that was really cool. And he was young himself. He was only 16. Oh, and I wrote down here, it made me cry because he was saying 16 isn't, it's not long enough earlier when he was in the traction. He's like, there's all these things I want to do.
Oh no, that part really, we kind of skipped over, but it broke my heart whenever he was like talking about how he wanted to die before, but now he wants to live. Oh, that killed me.
Yeah.
But Johnny tells Pony he has no regrets, and he wanted Dallas to know that too.
Yeah.
Because he could see his friend was in pain.
Okay, I got a question, and a question for the listeners too. Do you guys think that if Johnny had not been burned in the fire, would he have been convicted, or would he have been let off? I think he would have been let off.
Yeah, I think that's like a justifiable homicide, and when you also, he's a hero.
Yeah.
But let's not pretend he would have been like wheelchair bound. I think. And Johnny informs Pony that he thinks he he knows the meaning behind that Robert Frost poem, and you're gold when you're a kid, like green. When you're a kid, everything's new, dawn, like the way you dig sunsets, pony. That's gold. Keep it that way. It's a good way to be.
Yeah.
Oh, tears.
Yeah.
The tears. I mean, like for me, this movie is beautiful. Like, I know you may have not been a huge fan of it, like just on everything on the outside looking in it, but to me, there's so many layers to these characters. It reminds me of real people because in real life, nobody's perfect. In the world we live in with social
Yeah.
media, everybody like we have this like perfection complex where you always kind of see the best of everyone because that's all they let you see. And in this movie, you get to see people for what they really are, and that's nobody's perfect. Um,
Yeah.
and two things can be true at the same time. You can be a piece of shit, and you can be a hero.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And it's like you also have to think it's like I mean, they were really they're trying the best they could, really for their time, the era they were in, and the economy and everything. I mean, God, they were just kind of thrown to the wolves, really. I mean, they're just like walking around all day. It's like, do these kids go to school? It's like, luckily they weren't all like stabbed. I mean, luckily any of them, had normal lives.
So for you, as far as Oklahoma films, 1 out of 10, one being the worst, 10 being the best. Where do you rank The Outsiders?
Probably like a 7 or so. I noticed a couple of places. I mean, I don't know exactly like the filming locations, but they definitely looked familiar. It for sure looked
Oh,
like Tulsa.
yeah, I definitely noticed a lot of places. So where do
Some,
you
some
put
good.
The Outsiders in just movies in general?
Uh, Probably like maybe about the same, about like a 7 or so. I think it's I was reading that it's like required watching in a lot of schools, which I think is probably good. Give people kind of a window into like how things used to be before social media, before you were tracked all the time. You just wander around at night. Maybe you're gonna get into a stabbing. I mean, you never know. Oh, something I did hear, kind of behind the scenes thing, is that it became a movie because a teacher wrote a letter to, I guess, Francis Ford Coppola. Is that who the director was? I think
Yeah, yeah.
he wrote him a letter and said, "Hey, I really like your work. You should do this movie, or you should do this book as a movie. It's one of my students' favorite books." And it had like all the signatures of all the kids in his class.
Yeah, they actually dedicate the movie at the end of the film. You could see it's like dedicated to some school in
Oh, cool.
Fresno or
I
something
didn't
like that.
catch that, but yeah, that this must be that was from.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, but they gave him a little a shout out for it. Like they dedicated the film to him actually.
And I'm surprised that this has never been remade. And I'm surprised for two reasons. They haven't done a straight remake, a modern filming techniques version of this one set in 65. I'm also surprised they haven't done a modern version set in modern times.
Ah,
Because you could do this story in modern times, I
that would
think.
be kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see someone try it. Even if it didn't turn out as good, I still would like to see it.
Anyway, guys, that is our recap of the 1983 classic, The Outsiders,
Yeah.
filmed entirely here in Oklahoma. Anyway, guys, that is episode 2. We're gonna keep cranking these things out. We got a pretty good list, a long list of movies, all filmed right here in Oklahoma, and we ain't got nothing but time, so we are gonna get to them.
Yeah. If you guys have any recommendations, you have any thoughts, maybe just general insults that you want to, maybe you want to send us, feel free.
Yeah, now you can do it. Now you got an email address. You can hit us up at okfilmhistory@gmail.com. Hit us up with suggestions or just your comments. And be sure to tune in to FX on September 23rd for the debut of The Lowdown,
Yes.
starring Ethan Hawke and just a whole cast of amazing
Stacked.
actors, and it's filmed entirely here in Oklahoma. Definitely check that out. It is going to be the new hotness. I tell you, the new hotness.
I have my TiVo set to record.
And thank you guys for tuning in, and we will catch you next time. This has been Oklahoma History and Film.